Hello everyone and welcome to the map Alcyone. Today we'll be taking a look at a few viewer submitted matches for the February Viewer Challenge. As the last day in February, yes, it is time, it has finally arrived. You challenge submitters, for our first match today, the Blue Zerg player with a double extractor trick already in play. It is Clem. And their double gas opponent here, double refinery. No trick though, Terrans can't quite pull that off yet. Maybe in the next patch. It is Games. Perfect user ID, I would say. Builds, not quite so perfect, I would say. We had the double extractor trick to pull off an 18 hatch, a rather unemployed overlord, double refineries. We'll get to that though. We'll handle all that, of course. First up, let's go to OV Action Cam, of course. Alarak. The viewer challenge info, please.
You waste both my time and your breath, and the former has value.
Very well. Alright, there we go. We have it. Falling for you, of course, in honor of the season, in honor of what happens at some point in February. It hits the air, it hits the couples, it hits the singles even harder, shall I say. AKA drops only. You may only attack with units that are dropped for this challenge. I did give a little leeway, of course. Frequently asked questions. Indigos. What if I want to use warp prisms? Because technically, yes, I can drop from prisms, but can I warp in? Yes, of course. You can warp in at a prism. I count those units as dropped because they were theoretically sucked up from somewhere and then dropped right there. Fine by me. Indigos. I play Zerg, and dropper lords are no fun. Can I use Nidus worms, you say? Yes, because what is a Nidus worm if not an underground drop, I say. I'm okay with this as well. What I'm not okay with is a severe lack of orbitals by the 3-minute mark. I told my replay selector, give them to me in order of chaos. I want to start off with something little easy, little boring, we might say, just to kind of grasp the challenge, of course, get an understanding. So this first one, I don't expect a whole lot of chaos. If chaos is what you're here for, if excitement is what you're wanting, might I suggest sticking around for at least a few minutes to see what happens. If not, we can go forth into the video, into the future games here, which I was promised are going to be rather chaotic. The Zerg player, a 3-minute, 36-second Nidus here. The Terran, woefully unaware of this, just going with their 1-1-1 4-minute high ground CC, still lack of orbital, but we'll get there eventually, I suppose. Our APM, our APMs, yeah, those are numbers. They are double-digit numbers. The rest of it, though, we've got the Nidus worm finish, or the Nidus network, I should say, swallowing up that low-energy queen that just popped out. Is it going to be this? This is the OV in question. We can see the setup. Slow lings. We didn't even get ling speed. This is a slow ling Nidus, really? Overseer morphing in. The worm will complete. Games undoubtedly panicking as queens and slow lings erupt from the maw of the Nidus worm. And drones. You're attacking with drones? I'm okay with it. The drones don't even get to become the spine crawlers because game says I've had enough of this dumb game. How dare you make a Nidus worm against me? Well, there we go. The challenge in a nutshell, I suppose. I was promised they're not all like this. Skiemk, though, as the submitter did honor the challenge requirements. All attacking units were sent via an underground drop. Well done. Onwards now to match number 2. For match number 2, we find ourselves on the map Hecate, the Red Terran player here. Starting things off with Siema? I don't know. An alternative to GLHF, I suppose. The Red Terran. Camilos. Red Terran. Double gas again. What is with y'all? And the blue Zerg here in the bottom left. It is Masio PL. What does the PL stand for? We may never know. The world may never know. What I do know is that is a very normal hatch first build. Well done. Well constructed. Magnificent. The barracks looks like it will be done before the 4-minute mark here. The SCV production a little lacking, but it's coming back up. We had to get the double gas started so I could put one SCV in both. 2 SCVs in both. Can I get a third? Huh? No, not yet. I can't do I was gonna say 3 SCVs. There, I still did it. Ha, you're welcome. Alright. On the Zerg side of things. Gas. Pool. Normality. Dreadful normality. Orbital? That's supposed to be... We are speeding this up now times 2. I've had it up to here with the lack of orbital commands today. Alright. And a tech lab first. That Zerg player clicked it. I saw the blue. Widow mines. Into supply block. I had to get Marine, Tech Lab, Widow Mine into supply block. Hard block, too. Like that's a supply block, okay? No kidding. How's the Zerg doing? Drones, Lings, Ling speed. We actually want our Zerglings to be a little more effective here. A quick lair. Oh boy. It's not you, is it, really? The defensive Widow Mine at the bottom of the ramp here. Camilos. You thought it was going to be a mine drop? I see your mine drop. I call your bluff. And I raise you Fusion Core and Ghost Academy at the same time. So, I didn't specify in the last match, but air units... Let me ask you this question. Can air units be dropped? The answer is not really. I know Vikings, you can land them, put them in a medevac. That would be fine, actually. I'd be quite okay with that. Battle cruisers, though. I don't think I can really agree with that, because even if you teleport it, you're like, well, Indigos, what if I teleport it up, and then it teleports back down? Then it kind of fell. I'm going to say, hey, Timmy, quit, okay? Just stop. Please leave the thinking, leave the creativity to someone else, all right? I appreciate the effort, though. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, let's slow it back down. The ghost alone. It is said that those of his kind suffer. 32 drones on this natchery. That's a busy natchery. The double Nidus network is scouted. The BC finish? The BC did finish. And it's going. Oh yes, please, take down some of this drone count. for our Zerg player. Focusing down the Queen, the BC teleports the Ghost, moving into position. The hold fire command was issued. No basic attack. Nuke will be dropped onto the Queens. There is detection though. Will the Queens respond? The BC gets out of range. The Queens shifting. They're gonna get the Ghost. The Ghost dies. The nuke is lost. It just floats off into space. The battle cruiser. Really? You lost it? Oh, quick, let me make more, because it went so well the first time. Alright. Fabulous. Really hyping that up, huh? Alright. Well, how's the Zerg doing with this now? After defending this brazen attack, which, by the way, 8 drones lost. Good lord. Shame. 8 drones lost. 48 lings is the response here. Like, you saw a battle cruiser, right? Like, you're making more queens at least. How many queens you got? 9 queens going up to 11. Double one-handed clap for you, my blue Zerg player here. The 5 Widow Mines here, they're not going to know what hit them. They're going to expect a group of Zerglings and get 11 queens to the face. Even more. 2 more on the way. 13. Alright. What's the plan, though? We've got a lot of Zerglings. We've got 2 Nidus networks. Like, double Nidus. Are we going to hit 2 places at once here? With our semi-dropped Zerg army? The Swarm. Where are they going? A Bane nest? Really? Are you going for Banes here? Is it gonna be Nidus Bane? Ooh. I like the idea. I like the idea here. The battle cruisers just sitting tight, ready for the defense. Camilos, not too sure what to do with their next step. Making a lot of Hellbats, at least. 5 Hellbats. I will say, Hellbat, great idea when you have a scan go out or your battle cruiser spots very many Zerglings. Bunker, not too useful if they actually turn into Banes, which they are. Masio been stockpiling the gas for just this purpose, cornering the market, rallying to the Nidus network. Things are going to heat up, I see. Camilos. The battle cruisers, of course, immune to the attack of the Baneling. How will it fare? No Bane speed, of course. The Banes will eventually all be loaded up here. Some more lings. How many queens you got? 15 queens. That's more than I make. I love it. Perfect. Alright. I'm intrigued. I'm on the edge of my seat here. What's this gonna look like? We're gonna have Nidus worms, Banelings up against Marine, Hellbat, Battle Cruiser. Although we haven't really made any more cruisers. We only have 2. The Overseers dispatched. Go forth and see over their base. Find me a weak point for 2 Nidus worms filled with 64 Banelings. Okay. Alright. I'm entertained so far. I'm enjoying it. The BC's warp. Right as the Nidus worms are going to be made, a Hellbat spots the worms. Changelings will be dropped here. The BC, it's a little late for spores, my friend, but we're gonna try. Alright, here we go. The worms erupt. And the Banes roll forth. Alright. And then they lose sight of whatever they're doing. Because, yeah, screw that fusion core in particular. They roll into the Hellbats, the workers. 15 queens are brought forth to bear as well. The Banes have done their job. They've cracked open the wall. They will also get the Marines, it looks like. The focus. Camilos putting the 30 actions per minute into Battlecruiser Micro here. Where'd the queens go? They went back home. It's time to deal with the cruisers, they say. Yeah, 14 queens coming to the fight. Now these cruisers don't stand a chance, even if one of them does go way far ahead of the pack. This is why you stay with the book club. Gosh, the PCs warp home to deal with the worms. Which I will say, it may have actually been just more effective to make a worm at your third base and bring the queens that way. The Widow Mines look like they did detonate onto the Overseers. The BCs going after said Overseers. Now the worker count dangerously low for Camilos here. The BCs though, there's 2 battle cruisers, and where there's a cruiser, there is no hope. No hope apparently for the Red Terran, who decides it's not worth it, just going to tap out Masio PL with a mass Bane Queen Nidus shenanigan. I agree, I approve, I like it. Conditions for the challenge were indeed met. Attacking units, said Banes and Queens, delivered via Nidus Worm. Defending's totally fine, of course, because, you know, I'm not that mean. Battle cruisers are scary, you gotta defend your base. Alas, there is one more match to see on this fine day. For match number 3, we find ourselves still on the map of Hecate. However, finally a Protoss here. I was worried we were just gonna see TVZ all day. The bottom left corner, the blue probes belonging to RSI. What does it stand for? I'll leave you to think about that. The red Zerg, here in the upper right, throwing out the GLHF hearts. I like it. It is try, die. Again, try, die. Try, we'll go with try. After I was so nice, too, I introduced you the first Protoss we've seen today. And this is how you choose. This is what they're talking about, okay? You had every opportunity. Also, why here? Are you really gonna cannon rush the natural entrance? I don't know. I don't get it. Just, I don't know. Some people just can't be helped, okay? And now I have to wonder what we're gonna do, what the rest of the game's gonna look like here. 3 cannons, 2 pylons, to not even be able to hit anything. God, you scared Zerg. Come on, at least make him finish the cannons. Make him regret his life choices. Come on. You were not even in danger yet. Please. Alright, fine. I'm okay with it. We'll see where this goes. They're still making cannons. If these cannons complete, I'm gonna say it was actually worth it. If the Protoss lets 4 cannons and 2 pylons be here for effectively nothing, I'm gonna call it a win for the Zerg. 3 spines. Alright, now it's no longer a win for the Zerg. No longer looking good there. We're going to make a hatchery elsewhere. I'm okay with that. That's fine. The cannons did complete, which, let's see, 300, 600, 700, 800 minerals down the drain, plus the probes mining 230, so probably another, safely, 100 minerals. 900 minerals down the drain for the Protoss. The Zerg, 75, 3 spines, effective mining time. Okay, more cannons, you say. I'll take, yes, I'll have what the Natural's having. Thank you very much. 2 more. Still haven't killed anything. 74 to 75 resources lost. I love it. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. The canceled cannons too. Oh, people. People and their creativity. We got a gate and a core coming up behind this. We can't get ourselves to go above 17 probes despite having a chrono active. Try letting the cannons complete this time. Was it purposeful intent or ignorance? We may never know. Making 6 lings, which I'm gonna say is probably not the answer if you're looking to actually destroy the cannons. Now, Indigos, what about the challenge? How do I deal with these cannons? Like, yes, technically you're attacking the cannons, so should they be dropped? Maybe. However, realistically, this was your land. This was your real estate, alright? I call it defending. You're fine. If it's just a swarm of lings and roaches that come down here and wipe the floor with this, I'm gonna say it's okay. You're gonna drop. At least Ovi speed's finishing up. Alright, the drone gathers the courage to move past the cannon there. Might make a hatchery somewhere else. Behind this we have double Stargate coming up. Double Stargate, huh? What's it gonna be? I'm guessing we had cannons first. It's probably void rays. It's gotta be voids, right? Of course it's voids. God bless people. So predictable. The probe angrily chasing the Overlord, not knowing quite what's inside it yet. The lings, if they could get here, they could get the pylon actually. Go for the pylon. Go for the pylon. Go. No, not that way. Go for the pylon. God. Ling speed's not done. The probe's terrified for their probely existence. Finally seeing the pylon. The lings go for it. Will they stop the void rays in time? No. The void's just barely complete, which means this drop should be dealt with. I don't even think the Stalker will die. Oh my gosh, Stalkers suck. Almost. 4 health. Void just barely saving that Stalker's life. The Dropper Lord, also terrified, gonna get out of there at least. Hatchery was successfully made elsewhere. We had 2 more Dropper Lords made at the back of the main base. With drones. Drones, you say? The cannon's still intact. Love it. Perfect. Okay. 6 drones and a queen is the next choice. Like, we have lair, right? Did we get lair? Yeah, we got lair. Okay, so the Ovies can generate creep, of course. That might be what we're looking at here. Rightfully making a few spore crawlers. The decorative cannons around the map doing their business. Stalker on the hunt. I have 4 health. I'm a veteran of the great Ling invasion. It was 6 Zerglings, but still great Ling invasion, of course. Oh, sneaky. It's time to be stealthy. Stealth mission here. The Stalker starts to bruise the claw, the pigment on the side of the hatchery. Now making a few lings, alright. We'll deal with that. We have 3 queens up against 2 void rays. Things could get a little hectic. There are spores in the main, though. There are a lot of spores in the main. I like the circle, actually. It's not bad, Giotto. Decent circle. Alright. The drop finally arrives. 6 drones and a queen. Begins to drop creep as well. It's a spine crawler. Spines and spores. Love it. Unfortunately, one of the drones gets a little stuck. We have a creep tumor made as well. The void rays go to join the stalk. Did the Stalker die? Oh yeah, the Stalker died. Definitely, Stalker died. Spines and spores looking like they will complete. The Protoss player lacking the energy to commit recall. The voids have to slowly make their way back here. The lings will start to bruise the shields on the Nexus. The queen makes their move. Spore crawlers rerouting into position. Additional spine crawlers made. I'm not sure There's 3 voids. Only 1 queen and 2 spores. I'm not actually sure the Zerg has got this. Stalker, angrily throwing insults and strong words at the spine crawler. The voids need to start pitching in and helping out. Voids could deal with the spine, of course. Queen taking out the assimilator, charging up the beams, going after the buildings. The spore crawler doing its best. Even a transfuse goes out here. 4 voids, that's too much now. The Zerg, a valiant effort. I like the idea. Dropping the spines and the spores. Not going to work out for right now, though. The Void Rays will definitely clean this up. Did evacuate the main base, at least, with all 22 probes to the 23 drones. Good grief. Oh my gosh. Were the lings dropped? The lings in the natural? I don't know. I didn't catch it. It's a good catch, though. Maybe the lings weren't dropped here. I was too focused on enjoying the drop of the game here, which was the spines and spores. Hey, lings were dropped here. Dropper Lord used. Alright. Alright, benefit of the doubt here. I like it. Lings were dropped. A hatchery is made. You know, that's another option, actually. I said defending is fine. If you just make your base near their base, then it's just defending, right? Creep tumors begin to litter the main base. Stargates unpowered. What a mess. Good gosh, you two. Oh, there is an observer. Where'd you get the robo? Oh, it's in the back of the base. With the fleet beacon, of course. That I missed as well. Having way too much fun watching drones turn into crawlers in the Protoss's main base. Tumors will eventually be cleaned up. No more creep. No more vision provided to the Zerg, who arguably already saw everything they needed to see. Seeing the fleet beacon, though, like, you gotta start thinking about a plan. Have you got a plan? Is it more drones, really? Well, 1 Overlord Indigos. You see, I sent 1 last time, and it had 6 drones. And that went pretty well, I might say. Oh boy. The spore crawlers. Up against carriers. 16 drones. Dronely business here. Where'd the Ovies go? Where'd the Dropper Lords go? I lost them. Here's 1. Okay. Where's the other one? There were 2. There's 3 here. There were... Oh, okay. It's up in the left. Upper left. We got it now. Alright. The base. The Zerg hive cluster here. Sending out a Dropper Lord. Filled with 5 drones and 1 queen. Single Void Ray threatening the hatchery here. Yeah, that's not going to work very well. The Void Rays target down the Dropper Lord, charging up the thick beam up against the Queen, who is not armored, by the way. Do not do that, Protoss players. Thick beam, no help against Queen. Queen too thick. Countered. Okay, hard countered. Finds the hatchery here. Going to instead try to make the buildings at the main base here. Were you trying to be sneaky? Oh, Kerrigan voice back. That's fine. Buildings will be made once again in the Zerg's in the Protoss's base here. Is this all spores? No, there's 2 spines, 4 spores. 4 spore. 7 years ago, the Zerg says. Carriers have arrived, though, and will start to damage. There's a Nidus worm. I didn't even notice the Nidus network in production here. Carriers begin to focus it down. The spore crawlers trying their best, starting to pick off the interceptors. There's 1 queen. We're going to need to make another worm. Spines inching forward. The worm pops up. Transfuse initiated. Out come more drones. There's not even any queens coming out. This is the only queen? You only have 1 queen? You fool. Trying to do this with just drones. And that's a lot of spines when you're fighting air units here. Unfortunately, the interceptors are all destroyed, so the spore crawlers will now be able to reasonably deal with this. The spore's taken down the voids. There's not enough void rays. All the voids are gone. One of the carriers destroyed. What happened? Says the Zerg. I'm inclined to agree. What happened? What happened here is the carriers lost all of their interceptors. There were not enough void rays. This Protoss is in no mood to play against such a poor tactic, they say. Poor tactic, you say. My gosh. How rude. Although, to be killed by buildings is not a fun way indeed. To be killed by Zerg buildings, especially. I have to hand it to Try here, taking the Creativity Award. Most chaotic match for sure. As always, thank you all so much for watching. If you are interested in keeping up with the viewer challenge or submitting a replay of your own, I encourage you to check out the Discord link in the description below. We have a viewer challenge channel in there with all sorts of info coming out every month. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day.